It's wonderful to be here with you, feeling very merry today. It's always wonderful to start the day or pause the day and add some movement into the day. So let's begin on our bellies. Come on down to your belly. You'll want to have your strap nearby, whatever you use for bolsters, pillows, towels, maybe a couple thin blocks or whatever you use for blocks. And then towards the end of class, we'll use a chair and perhaps a wall space, but you can improvise if you don't have that nearby. But from your stomach, open your thighs hip distance apart. Feel the front of your pelvis get nice and flat on the floor. And then cross your right arm on top of your left arm. You can cross at the wrist. You can cross closer to the elbows. You can cross the upper arms. And then just let your head rest down for a few breaths. Lift your head up, switch the crossing of your arms, and then this time after you lay your head down, breathe gently into the sides and the backs of your rib cage. And then lift your head up and grab whatever you're using for a strap and create a loop and lasso that loop around your right ankle. Gently flex your ankle the whole time as you pull your thigh bone in any amount. We're going to really work on keeping our pelvis in neutral so the front of the pelvis stays flat and grounded. In particular, the pubic bone tends to come up in these. We're going to move our knee into 3 different angles. You're going to have it be straight in line with your hip, out to the side a little bit, and in a little bit closer to your left leg. So let's start with the crooked angles. Hop your thigh bone a little bit out to the right as you pull your thigh in, flexing your ankle. And then feel free to please relax your head and your neck down. I'm just staying lifted for talking purposes. And then slowly roll your thigh bone side to side here. Your knee and ankle just going along for the ride. And then bring that right leg back to center and scoot it over toward your left leg. A little bit goes a long way. Flexing your ankle, pubic bone tilting towards the floor, and rotate your thigh bone a little side to side here. And now bring your thigh bone back to center in line with that top outer pelvic bone. And ankle flex, pubic bone tilting down to the floor, and rotate your thigh bone a little bit here. Go slow. Feel the transition. Feel how it changes the way you feel the muscle. And then pause when your ankle is centered and try to spread all your toes away from each other. And then let's switch legs entirely. So take that lasso off of your right ankle, loop it around your left ankle. And then get your head and neck comfortable and take your left thigh a little bit out to the left, pubic bone tilts to the floor, ankle flexes. And rotate your thigh bone a little bit there. You can pull your heel in any amount towards your buttocks as long as you don't feel any discomfort or pulling in your knee. And then take your thigh bone, hop it back through center, hop it a little bit over towards your right leg. A little bit goes a long way. Pubic bone tilts down, ankle flexed. And rotate your thigh bone there.
Go slow. Feel the change of how when you change the bone, it changes the way it pulls on the muscle. All right, and then hop that knee back to the center and rotate your thigh bone there. Pubic bone tilting down, ankle in flexion. Pause with your heel in the center and then spread your toes nice and wide. And relax your toes and release the strap, and you can put the strap by your side. And now bend your right knee out to the right in a 90-degree angle, no higher than your right hip. Try to scoot yourself so more of the front of your pelvis is relaxed on the floor. And then again, just lay yourself down, let your head and neck relax here. While you're here and relaxing your buttocks muscles, relaxing any clenching around your thighs, how about trying to once again spread your toes on both feet? And then relax your toes, relaxing your feet all the way up to your hips. And maybe extending your right leg out to the right here. So straightening that right leg. And still trying to feel like you're getting more of the front of your pelvis down to the floor. And then rebend that right knee. And with that right knee bent, come up onto your forearms. Reach your left arm under your right elbow. You might want something for your head here if it doesn't come down to the floor. Lay your head down. Reach your right arm into the air. Your right knee can roll toward you, but just don't let it come up off the floor. So you're rolling your torso open, letting your knee slide toward you. Your arm opens behind you, palm face the ceiling, and then just slowly move your arm in a half circle pattern. Put a micro bend in your elbow if you tend to lock out your elbow, like you're drawing a rainbow by your side. Opening, feeling the chest muscles, feeling the upper back, trying not to thrust the ribs from the front. So if you're pushing your rib cage forward, softly back your ribs up into your body. And then bring that right hand back down as you roll back onto your stomach, slide your right leg back, bend your left knee out to the side, 90-degree angle, no higher than your hip. Try to feel like you're wiggling around to get more of the front of your pelvis on the floor, and then let yourself lie down and be comfortable. Relax, clenching around the buttocks, around the thighs. Usually with this one, it's one that you have to relax clenching over and over again. Or if you're just really tense here, then you're just trying to release tension to the best of your ability. If you find that you're just carrying a lot of tension in this position, this is one to hold longer than we're doing today. So come back to this one. Not only check clenching in your left leg, but make sure you're not clenching your right leg either. How about spreading all 10 of your toes out here? Try to feel the top of your left foot on the floor as you spread your toes out. Or rather the right foot, sorry, and then spread your left toes out as well. All right, relax your toes all the way up to your hips. Maybe extend that left leg out to the side long. Re-scoot yourself to feel like you're getting more of the front of your pelvis and your inner thigh to the floor. Relaxing, clenching over and over again. Patiently and persistently. And then re-bend your left knee. Keep it bent out to your side. Come up onto your forearms if you need something for your head so it can rest down. Bring a towel or a block nearby. Reach your right arm underneath your left arm. Roll open, lay your head on the floor. Let yourself roll open so your left arm reaches behind you. Your left lower leg stays on the floor, and then with your palm facing up, you're just moving your arm in that semicircle pattern behind you.
Feeling your chest muscles, feeling your upper back muscles spreading out and opening through the palm of your hand and your fingers. Enjoying your breath. And then unwind your spine, slide that left leg back behind you, come up onto your forearms with your elbows right underneath your shoulders, elbows a little wider than your hips. And then from here, pressing the front of your pelvis flat to the floor, curl your ribs up into the body. Feel your shoulder blades spread wide, feel your armpits lift up, and then let your ribs sink back forward. And curl your ribs up only so much that the pelvis doesn't come up off the floor. And let your rib cage drop forward. And curl your ribs up. And rib cage drops forward. And curl your ribs up. Now feel how when you curl your lower ribs in, turns on your upper abdominal muscles. This is what we want, because when we drop our ribs cage forward, we're shearing our spine. We're just really moving our bones in a way that doesn't use as much musculature around our core. So you want to recreate this action when we come into cobra poses. So let your ribs come forward, slide your hands back next to your chest, spread your thumbs out towards each other, hug your elbows to face the ceiling, and before you lift up into a cobra, first curl your ribs in, then roll your spine up a little bit. And then roll yourself back down. Keep your pubic bone and the tops of your feet planted on the floor. Curl your rib cage in, roll your spine up a little bit, and roll back down. If your feet lift up or your pubic bone lift up, don't bring your spine quite so high. Curl your ribs in, roll yourself up a little, and roll back down. Press equally through the palms of your hands. This time we're going to stay up. Curl your ribs in, roll up a little bit, and from here, rotate your elbows out to the side and point them back. Keep curling the ribs in as you rotate your elbows out and in. Feet press flat to the floor. And one more like that. Excellent. And then lay yourself down. Reach your arms straight out to your sides. Hover them over the floor. You can definitely rest your forehead down on the floor or a towel under your forehead and slowly move your arms up and down by your sides, drawing angel arms from our bellies. Open through the palms of the hands, open through your fingers, breathing here. And then next time your arms go up overhead, no rush. Just bend your elbows to slide your hands back neck to your chest. Now, when you press yourself away from the floor, in order to protect your spine, you want to curl the ribs in first instead of lifting up first from the shoulders. So curl the ribs in, elbows in, push away from the floor. Come onto your knees, come onto your forearms. Open your knees as wide as your hips. Open your feet as wide as your knees. And then you're going to reach your right arm behind your left arm, but we're going to do 3 different rotations. So as you reach the right arm through, first put your palm face down on the floor, then let your head rest down anywhere that's comfortable. You can rest it on your other forearm. Take a breath here into the sides and the backs of the rib cage. And then rotate from the top of your right arm bone so you're on the pinky finger side of your hand. Stretch your thumb straight up into the air. And then rotate so your palm is up and try to touch all of your fingernails to the floor. Check in on your feet. Did they scoot in closer than your knees, or are you letting your feet roll to one side or the other? Gently press down through the center of your foot. And then let's switch arms. Slide your right arm out, elbows under the shoulders, ribs slightly up. Slide your left arm through, but start with your palm face down as you wiggle that arm through. Please feel free to rest your forehead down on your right forearm or on the mat or on a towel.
Press equally through the top of the feet. Notice how easily we forget about the feet and the engagement of the feet. And then from the top of the arm bone, rotate so you're on the pinky finger side of your hand and gently stretch your thumb straight up into the air. And then rotate your arm bone so you're on the back of the hand and try to touch as many of your fingernails to the floor as you can. Try to touch more parts of the back of the hand to the floor. And then slide that left arm out. And from here, let's tuck our toes under behind us and sit back. Notice if your heels roll out or in, bring them centered. We're going to stretch our fingers. If you have to do one hand at a time, that's okay. But you're going to turn your palms around and try to just put your fingertips down on the floor. So just the top fingertip area down on the floor and pull back. Elbows point straight back in line with your shoulders. Try to touch all 4 fingertips if you can. At first, maybe they won't all come down. And then go down and try to put your whole finger on the floor. Just your fingers, no part of the palm of the hand. Please don't force anything. Breathing here. And then how about your fingers and just the padding below your fingers? Can you put just your fingers and the padding below your fingers on the floor and pull back gently from the heels of your hand? Spread your thumbs out to the side a little bit. And then you can put the whole palm of the hand down on the floor, spreading the thumb out, and keep your arms straight or bend your elbows back a little bit. Try to feel like your fingers are stretching longer. Notice if they're curling up. What happened to your ankles? Did they turn in or out? Center your ankles. And then from here, if it's comfortable, you're going to sit back onto those feet you're stretching. You can try to tuck the balls of your feet under a little more. If it's not comfortable to sit back, it's just stand up on your knees here. So you can still get the foot stretch and without creating discomfort in your knees or your hips. So sitting back on your feet here, open your arms out to your sides, palms face forward, and curl your right arm on top as you wrap your arms around for a hug. And then open up out to the sides and curl your left arm on top and open up. Right arm and open, and left arm and open. One more each side like that. Right arm and open, left arm and open. Now pause, check, did your ankles roll to one side or the other? Can you put your foot down the center of the ball of your foot? Feel more of your toes touch down to the floor. And then from here, wrap your right arm on top, wiggle your fingers around, relax your elbows down, and then drop your chin down to your chest. Roll your neck to the right and to the left, nice and slowly. Bring your head to center, reopen your arms, put your left arm on top, walk your fingers around, drop your elbows down, then drop your head down and roll your chin a little bit to the right and then a little bit to the left and come back to center and your head lifts up and your arms open and your arms come down, and then come on up onto your knees and step your right foot forward into a lunge with the outer edge of the foot straight. And you're going to start backing up your hips so they're right over your back knee and pushing your pubic bone forward a little bit to pull on the front of that left thigh. And then keeping that position of your pelvis, just see how far you can move your hips forward. A lot of times it's not very much. And back up a little. And push forward a little, back up a little, and then from here, let's switch legs. Slide your right knee back, step your left foot forward, ankle behind the knee, back your right thigh bone up so your hip is right over your knee. Tuck your pelvis under, push your pubic bone forward a little. Keep that stretch going in the front of your thigh and just try to micro move your hip forward and back. Very small motion here. Tuning into your breath. And then tuck your back toes under, and at first you can lean forward, use your hands. Over time, less hands, less leaning forward. Push down through your feet, to press to come on up to stand, and grab whatever you're going to use for a calf stretch. So I'm going to use a thin block today. You can use a rolled up towel. Put whatever you're using in front of you. Put the ball of your right foot up, your heel down on the floor. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Maybe you step that left foot forward a little bit. And then from here, in our calf stretch, we'll just gently move our ankle around, very slow and gentle. You'll roll to the inner edge of your foot and you'll roll to the outer edge of your foot. And then just concentrate on how that changes. The position of your ankle changes how you feel the pull on the muscles across your lower leg. Take your time. Feel the shift. And then try to find that center spot where your ankle's centered. Reach your arms out to your sides. And then from here, let's flip our wrist. So extend your wrist fingers, point up. Bring all of your fingers together, keep them together as you point your wrist down. Wrist up, wrist down. Now spread your fingers wide away from each other. Keep them gently spreading. Wrist turn up so the fingers go up. Wrist turn down. Fingers up, fingers down. Now curl your hands into soft fists. Turn them down and up and down and up. And then release your arms and switch feet. Put the ball of your left foot up, your heel down on the floor, outer edges of feet straight. I might be on the opposite foot as you, but just do your opposite foot. You can step your outside foot forward a lot, but if you feel like you clench up or you lose balance, better to feel just steady and relaxed, so back your foot up. And then from here, gently roll your ankle that's up on your prop side to side. And go slow. You want to feel how when the position of the ankle changes, it changes the way you feel the musculature around your lower leg. And you might even be able to feel how it changes the pull all the way up the back of your thigh over time. The more you become in tune with your body, the more you'll feel how everything connects. But it's a very patient and persistent practice because myself and most of us were not taught to pay this close attention to the position of our bodies for most of our lives. Okay, find that center spot, recheck your foot is straight, and then reach your arms out to the side, bring all your fingers together and tilt your wrists down and up nice and slowly, and down and up. Spread all your fingers wide, tilt down and up, and down, and up. Now create soft little fist and go down, and up, and down, and up. Excellent. Release your arms. You can put that block or prop, whatever you're using, to the side. Now with your feet straight, outer edges of the feet is what we're looking on, ankles hip distance apart. You're going to push down through your right hip and hug it in. And eventually when you push down and hug your hip in, it'll hug so much that you could flex your foot and it will easily come up off the floor. Tuck that left foot for a moment behind you. So I want you to get that action. Hip goes out a little, press down and hug in, stacking your joints. Hip goes out a little, press down and hug in. Now you are welcome to use a chair to hold on to, or you can just keep your kickstand foot back there. Or you can bring this foot forward, flexing your ankle, and do that action with your foot floating in the air the whole time. But just be aware the action is coming from the standing leg hip. The leg that's hanging is staying very relaxed. So in other words, you're not hiking and lowering your hip up. The action is from the standing leg hip. Hip goes out, press down and hug it. Hip goes out, press down and hug in. Tuck the top of the left foot behind you, top of the foot stretch. Oh, I just accidentally landed on a block, but that felt pretty good. So I'm going to stay there, but you can just land on whatever is behind you. You can always put a block or a pillow back there to change the angle of the top of the foot stretch a little. Notice if your ankle rolls out to the side. If it's not uncomfortable, then try to rotate your ankle straight. If it's too much pressure on your toes, just slightly move the position of your foot. and then bring that foot back. All right, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, outer edge. Push down through the left hip, hug it in. Let your right ankle flex, and then just tuck the toes behind you and move that hip out. Press down and hug in. All the motion is happening in the standing leg hip. It goes out and press down and hug it. Now let's try it. Bring the ankle forward, keep your weight back in your heels. Hip goes out, push down and hug it. And hip goes out, press down and hug in. Woo, haven't done this for a while. Hip goes out, push down and hug in. Hip goes out, press down and hug in. Now keep that action. Tuck the top of the other foot behind you. Again, you can put it on a block or you can put it on a pillow behind you. Back your weight up into your heels. Try not to have the weight over the front of your front foot. Back your weight up over to your heels. Try to straighten out your back ankle here. And then release that foot. We're going to have to do more pelvic lifts. Outer edges of the foot straight. Push down through the right hip, hug it in. Flex the ankle and let the hip go out and in a little bit. The work is happening in the standing leg. If you're feeling it in your lower back, that means you're hiking your hips up and not using so much of the side buttocks and thigh muscles. So maybe take a break and keep coming back to it. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Push down through the left leg, hug the hip in, right ankle flexes. And the left hip goes out and in. And out and in and out and in, and then put that foot down. Okay, from the top of the mat, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Rotate your pelvis, backing your hips up. Try to keep your spine nice and long so you're just moving your thigh bones back. And then come up slightly and sit back into a chair pose, really sliding your hips back, use less of the front of the legs and the lower back, and turn on more of the back of the legs and the buttocks. Then bring your hands down to the floor, keep the right foot forward with the outer edge of the foot straight, and step the left foot straight back into a lunge. Lower that knee down, inhale, arms rise up, back up, so your left hip is right over your left knee. And then from here, turn your belly button over to the right. It's actually your left hip over your left knee. Good. Unwind your spine. Let your right hand come down. Reach your left arm up and over for a side bend. And then bring both arms back up. Both hands down inside your right foot. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee, stretch long through that leg, and walk halfway around to the left. Parallel your feet. Outer edges of feet straight. Back your weight up into your heels. Push down through the feet. Open your arms like cactus arms. Sit back into a wide squat. Again, trying not to lead with the knees, but backing the hips up. Inner thighs open. And from here, reach up and bend down. 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 And then straighten your legs. Keep the thigh bones back. Relax the front of the thighs. Rotate your forearms down and up and down and up, down and up, down and up. Now from here, sit back into that squat. And from your squat, curl your elbows and hands in and open. And in and open. In and open. In and open. Now next time you bring your hands in, turn your palms to face you, elbows as close as they'll come. Straighten your legs for a moment, back your hips up, and without lifting your ribs, little lift up and down. Up and down. Up and down, up and down. Now keep your elbows and hands as close as they'll come. Sit back into your squat, pushing your hips back. And then from there, elbows stay close as you pull your hands apart and together. Apart and together. Apart and together. Apart and together. And then from there, stretch your arms in front of you, open your arms to the side, bring your hands to your hips, feel your pelvis rotate as your thigh bones push back. As you come lower to the floor, it's okay to rebend your knees, walk back around to your right foot at the front of the mat. Plant your hands down, spread your thumbs out, wrap your elbow pits forward, step your left leg back to meet your right leg into a plank pose, and then go up and back into a down dog. Look back, check, are the feet straight? Are your ankles hip distance apart? Put a big bend in your knee, tilt your tailbone high up into the air. And then from there, just try to keep your tailbone high as you push your thigh bones back and rebend your knees, centering them at the center of your straight foot. And thigh bones go back with tailbone staying high and rebend. Let's do that 2 more times. Thigh bones press back and rebend. Press equally through the palms of the hands. Thigh bones press back and rebend. All right, thigh bones press back, slide forward into plank pose, knees on or off the floor, lift the front of the ribs up as you bend the elbows to lower down. And then from there, reach your arms overhead, right over your shoulders. Tops of the feet press down, pubic bone presses down the whole time, and just lay your forehead down if it's comfortable, or please put a towel under your head, and you're just gonna lift your right arm and your left arm. Right arm, left arm, right arm, pubic bone stays grounded, left arm, right arm, left arm. Okay, keep your hands relaxed, your thumbs sticking up in the air, pubic bone stays down as you lift your right leg and left leg. Small, because the pelvis stays grounded. Right leg, reach the leg long, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. All right, let's do opposite arm and leg. Right arm, left leg, and lower. Left arm, right leg, and lower. Opposite arm and leg, lift, and lower. Lift, and lower. Lift, and lower. Lift, and lower. Lift, hold, reach long through the arm, reach long through the leg, and lower. Lift opposite arm and legs, reach long through the leg, reach long through the arm, and lower. Slide your hands back neck to your chest, thumbs stretch out towards each other, elbows point back, ribs curl in, push yourself away from the floor. Step back into a plank pose. Go up and back to that down dog. Feet straight, outer edges. Bend the knees, stick the hips up and back. Press down equally through the palms as you push your hips back. Put a little bend in your elbows. Roll them out to the side and wrap them in. Roll them out to the side. Wrap them in. Keep pressing back through the hips. Roll the elbows out to the side and back in and out to the side and back in. And then from there, lower your knees down softly, stand up on your knees, step your right foot forward into a lunge, tuck your back toes under, and we'll do little lifts. Lift up just a little and lower down. Lift up just a little, pelvis is in neutral, vertical plane, lower down. Lift up a little, lower down, lift up a little. Now you can lower down all the way or hover your knee over the floor as you reach both arms into the air. Twist your belly to the right. Unwind your belly, the right hand comes down, the left arm goes over into a side bend. Open that right thigh if you see it collapsing in. Come back up to center, both arms up or hands down. Push down to step up to the top of the mat. Release your hands down. Okay, let's turn around. And before we go to the other side, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down and hug the right hip in as you bend your left heel in towards your buttocks. Keep backing up the weight into the heels. You're welcome to have a chair or a wall nearby. Lower that foot down. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance. Push down through the left hip, hug it in. Bend the right heel in. Back the thigh bone up, breathing here. And lower, one more each side. Push down and hug in. And lower, press down, hug the standing leg hip in, bend the knee up, and lower. Now feel free to take your strap or whatever you're using as a strap, I'm using a scarf, create that loop, that lasso, and as you push down through your right leg, wrap it around your left ankle and pull that thigh bone back and up. Keep working on the work in the standing leg, backing the hip up, and now just rotate your thigh bone. Your knee and your foot are going along for the ride. Try not to turn the hips. Hips stay pointing straight ahead. It's just the thigh bone rotating a little bit. Let's switch sides. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down, hug the hip in. Take that lasso loop and wrap it around your opposite ankle. Move the thigh bone back, push down, hug the hip in, back the weight up into the heel. So we don't want to balance however we can. If we have these misalignments going on and that's where we can balance, over time that's going to lead to some degeneration. So we want to get our alignment cues, and if that means holding on to something at first, that's better. Back that thigh bone up and rotate. Breathing here. Keeping the hips squared. Relaxing the toes. Good, and release. Let's do one more each side. Feet straight, outer edge, ankle hip distance apart. Push down through the outer right hip, hug it in. Lasso that loop around your ankle. Thigh bone goes back and up. Breathing. Front ribs relax down, ears slide back over the shoulders. Eventually, the kneecap can even lift up and down here on the standing balancing leg, and you're working on rotating your balancing leg into neutral. Let's switch sides. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through the outer right hip, or left hip, hug it in. Lasso the loop around your right ankle. And back up. And breathing here. Whatever it is you need to work on. At first it might just really be feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, not letting the hip go out to the side, backing the weight up into the heel. And then after you've been working on those for a long time, you start with the rotations and relaxing the front of the balancing leg. Breathing here. And then release that foot. So good. Okay, from there you can put that strap to the side. You're at the top of your mat, feet straight, ankles hip distance. Rotate your pelvis, thigh bones move back. Come on up, sit back into a chair pose. Try not to lead with the knees. Watch the thighs if they're collapsing in towards each other. Bring the hands to the floor, keep the left foot forward, step the right leg back, softly lower the knee. Inhale, arms rise up, back your right hip up so it's back over your knee. Rotate your belly button to the left, twisting from the waist. Unwind the belly button, left hand comes down, right arm goes up and over into a side bend. Bring both arms back up into the air. Bring your hands down inside your left foot. Tuck your toes, lift your right knee, stretch long through that leg, and then walk halfway around to the right. Parallel your feet. Put your weight back in your heels. Come on up to stand. Bend your elbows out to the side. Extend long and bend. Weight back in the heels. Extend and bend. Extend and bend, extend, and bend. Now sit back into your wide squat. Try to feel like your weight's equal between both of your legs, and then rotate down and up, and down and up, and down and up, and down and up. Now straighten your legs nice and slowly. Weight back in the heels. curl in and open, curl in and open, curl in and open, curl in, turn your palms to face you, elbows as close as they can come, sit back into that chair pose, and then little lifts up and down. Keep sliding your hips back, up and down, up and down, up and down. Come to center, push your thigh bones back as you straighten your legs, open and close, open and close, open and close, open and close. Reach your arms out, open your arms to the side, hands to the hip, rotate back as you push your thigh bones back. As hands come down, it's okay to bend your knees. Walk around to your left foot at the front of the mat. From here, we're going to go right into putting your knee down, standing up in your low lunge, and then with your back toes tucked under, we'll do little lifts and lowers. Lift the knee up off the floor a little, lower down, pubic bone forward, pelvis in neutral. Press up a little and bend down. Press up a little, steady the back foot and bend down. Press up a little and bend down. You can either go all the way down or stay hovering. Reach both arms up into the air. Rotate your belly button to the left, breathing. Watch that front left thigh. If it collapses in, rotate it open. Unwind your belly button. Left hand comes down. Right arm goes over into a side bend. And then bring both arms back up. From here, push down to step up. Wonderful. Okay, let's go to a wall very quickly, and you can improvise if you don't have a wall space, if you have a fireplace mantle, if you have a higher kitchen counter, put your hands up about as high as they'll go. But if you're using a wall just above your forehead, spread your thumbs out, wrap your elbow pits in a little bit, and then with your feet straight, ankles hip distance, just push your hips back here. Great time to practice relaxing the kneecaps as you rotate the thigh bones into neutral. And then just walk your hands down a little bit wherever you are and back up a little, pushing your hips back behind your ankles. Elbow pits wrap in, so you're putting your shoulders and maybe your legs too in neutral. First thing, checking that your feet are straight and your ankles are hip distance apart. And then from there, come on up, and we're going to use the chair. Now you can use the front of the chair, or you can turn it around, and if there's like a slot in the back of the chair, it might be easier to use the back of the chair and hold on to the back of the chair. But if neither of those work for you, I'll show you what you're going to do. You're going to put your heel down, toes up, push your hips back, and maybe push your hands on a counter. If you'd like to do the chair option, you're going to put your heel up on the chair with your feet straight, ankles hip distance. You could also put your foot on a wall and push your hips back any amount, maybe holding onto the chair. So this is where, if you're using the seat of the chair, it's not as easy to hold on. But if you turn the chair around, the back of the chair will be closer to you. And push your hips back. And come on up and switch sides. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. So either heel down, toes up, and you push your hips back, or put your foot up, whatever you're working with. Feet outer edge of the balancing leg still straight, and push your hips straight back. Breathing. And I like to use the back of the chair a lot too. Just so happens my chair's not there today, so I'm sticking with this one. Ankle flexed. My right standing leg foot wants to slide in so badly. So it's like the muscles, it's easier when that foot is crooked for the muscles. So I've got to work to keep the foot straight. And it's amazing how much keeping the foot straight changes the musculature all the way up into the hips. And then come on up and release that leg. Okay, from here, we're going to bring your hands to either the back of a chair, the seat of a chair, or a wall. The seat of the chair is too low if when you come down, your spine is doing one of these. So have your hands higher if that's the case, but if it's easy to back your hips up and keep your spine long, hopefully even have that natural curve behind your lower back, you can bring your hands down lower. Be patient, it will happen with time. It will be a lot better for your body if you stay higher, if your spine's not ready to create that range of motion yet. Push down through your outer left hip, hug that hip in, and extend your right leg behind you in the air, and then back your weight up into your heels. And lower that foot down. Most important, checking, starting with feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through the right hip, hug the hip in, lift the left leg up, reach long through that leg, back your weight up into your heel. And breathing here. All right, bring that foot down, feet straight, ankles hip distance. Sit back into a chair pose. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Just sit straight back for a moment. And then let's switch. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Cross your opposite ankle over and sit back. All right, and then come on up, and now let's use our strap. So, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through the left hip, hug it in. Wrap the strap around your opposite ankle. So you're coming into this quad stretch here. And then from here, you're rotating your pelvis and your knee lifts up as your torso goes forward. Now at some time, your torso can keep going forward and your knee won't go any higher. You're trying to balance the two of those things. See how high the thigh bone will go as you back your hips up. And breathing here. And then slowly come up, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your outer right hip, hug it in, lasso that loop around your left ankle. And then try to find that balance of your pelvis is rotating and at the same time your thigh bone is going up. So you don't pause with your thigh bone and keep going with your spine. Your thigh bone's going at the same rate. Breathing here. And slowly pushing through the back of that leg to come up. Release the strap. Sit back into a chair pose. Cross one ankle over the knee and sit your hips back. Same cues as a squat, trying not to lead with the knee. And switch legs. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Cross over, sit your hips back. And press on up. Now for a double calf stretch, I'm going to use two thin blocks. You can use a rolled up towel that's long enough. Put whatever you're using, an extra rolled up mat side to side. Put the balls of the feet up, the heels down. And remember, you're working with how much motion you have in your hips. So how much your pelvis can rotate and keep the natural curves of your spine. At some point, the hips stop and the spine starts going. So if that's the case, start with your hands higher and then over time you can lower them. These are not the only two options. You can put blocks down, pillows down, stuff higher if this maybe is too high, but the chair seat is too low. Back your thigh bones up. Breathing here. And then slowly come up. And you can step off your props and just gently slide them out of the way. And then we'll stand a little wider than hip distance and we'll go slow. So if you have the ability to fall, for you, you've got to slow down. For people who have just a hard time getting down, you'll go slow with ease. Push your hips back and slowly sit back into a chair pose. but then slowly keep going down. Push your thigh bones back, press into your feet, and slowly come back up. Let's do that a few more times. Back your weight up. Push your hips back. Try to center your belly button between your two legs. And then push your hips back and press up. So you might not go as low every time. Kind of feel out your body. Push your hips back. Slowly lower the hips down. Thigh bones move back. Come up as slow as you can. Feel the leg muscles. Feel that blood flowing. And push your hips back. And push back to press up nice and slowly. And this time we're going to come all the way down. So you're just going to come down slowly, as low as you can, and then either crawl yourself down or just let your hips come all the way down to the floor and find something to sit on. So I'm going to sit on a block with a rolled up towel on top of it. That's been my go-to lately, just to get your pelvis to tilt into neutral with more ease, because again, the less the pelvis is in neutral, the more you're loading the spine. Cross your right ankle in front of your left ankle. Tilt the pelvis upright. Nice and slowly drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Right arm out to the side, palm up. And nice and slowly go up and down towards the floor. And up nice and slow. And down. Right ear to right shoulder without leaning to the right. Nice and slowly up. And down. And up. And down. Bring that arm up nice and slow, about chest, low chest height. Rotate the arm bone one way and the other way. Rotate and rotate. Rotate and rotate. 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 Palm face forward. Bend. Extend. Bend. Extend. Bend. Extend. Bend. Nice and slowly. Lift the arm up into there. Go slow. Feel the muscle around your shoulder. Nice and slowly bend down. Dropping the right ear over. One more time. Reach up. Take that arm over a little. Take that arm out a little. And slowly back down. And bring your head up nice and slowly. Switch the crossing of your ankles. Left in front, maybe working with a neutral ankle, maybe working with a relaxed ankle. Rotate the pelvis into neutral, relax the ribs down. From here, since we just stretched out that side, you want to go slow as you take your left ear to your left shoulder. Without leaning to the left, palm up by your side, right hand, nice and slow. Slow is the important part. Lift up and down. And lift up and down. The arm stays active the whole time, so when you go down, you're not flopping it down. Lift up and down and lift up and down. And then lift up, hold, rotate the arm bone all the way one way, all the way the other way. Go slow, but try to turn a little bit farther without force. Okay, palm faces forward. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. Left arm to left shoulder. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. Bend nice and slowly. Go slow, 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 slow. Go up and back down. And slowly go up. Reach over to the left a little. Reach open to the right nice and slowly. Rebend the elbow. Drop the hand down. Bring the head up. Grab your strap. Sit with your soles of the feet together, knees open to the sides. Rotating your pelvis upright. Wrap the strap around your lower rib cage and try to tie it pretty snug. You want it snug so you can get the feedback from breathing into the strap. And because you are the gift. All right, from here, you're going to work on inhaling into the sides and the back of the strap, exercising the muscles between the ribs, and exhale, pulling away from the strap. Okay, and we'll do this, let's do it again. And I'll count to a count of 4. If my count is too fast or too slow for you, please ignore it. You just want your breath to flow steady. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Tilting the pelvis upright. You can always move the feet a little farther away or a little closer in. Ribs relax down. Okay, let's reach our arms out to our sides. Low chest tight. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Go internal rotation. Rotate all the way one way. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Rotate your arm bones all the way the other way. Try to turn your thumbs back behind you a little more. The elbows a little forward. Ribs relax down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Palms face forward. Bend elbow like cactus arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Extend your arms up into the air. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. Bring your hands down. Stretch your legs straight. Just try it first just to sit up tall in the pelvis. And then once your pelvis is upright, maybe the spine rounds forward a little. Maybe the head drops down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Take 3 more breaths like that. And then slowly roll up. You can untie yourself and you're ready for your final pose, Savasana. So come on down to your back, get comfortable, maybe a nice pillow underneath your head. You can put a rolled up towel underneath your knees. Lay down onto your back. Stretch your arms and legs out by your side. Let your chin drop down to your chest and then relax or soften your gaze or close your eyes all the way. And become very present with your body and with your breath. Giving this time to yourself, staying present with your body, your breath.
Stay present with your body, with your breath. The best gift you can give yourself is your own self-presence. Live life fully while you're here. Experience everything. Take care of yourself, your family, and your friends. Have fun, be crazy, be weird. Go out and screw up. You're going to anyway, so you may as well enjoy the process. Take the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. Find the cause of your problem and eliminate it. Don't try to be perfect. Just be an excellent example of a human being and of being human. Let your breath become a little deeper into the sides of your rib cage. If you're ready to move, whatever feels good to you, if you want to reach your arms overhead nice and slowly, move your neck around, wiggle your torso a little, stretch out through your toes. And then when you're ready, roll over to your right side, pause there. With a softness in your face, with a softness in your hands and your feet, press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can sit any way that you'd like. Bring your hands together at heart center. In gratitude for this day, namaste.